Top 5 portal frequent flyers. 2020, the second one I bet he felt had staying power until he got hurt again, and then they discover a new quarterback. Chance Nolan's in the portal, and he'll be someone who kind of falls out in the middle somewhere. He'd be a nice quarterback to have if you need him because of his experience, but not towards the top rung.
He's a fine player. Didn't have very good stats. Gulbranson eventually replaced him, and he's somebody I think is kind of lost in the shuffle of what's a much bigger pool of quarterbacks, especially after all of the movement earlier this week.
Yeah. Number 4, Connor Bazelak from Indiana now was at Mizzou. He'll be on his third school.
He didn't have to travel very far.
No, and we'll see where he winds up with the third spot. But he had his moment in the sun when he beat Florida, then wound up transferring to Indiana last year to take over for Michael Penix Jr., and we know who got the better end of that deal. So I'm not trying to knock Connor here, but this will be another time in the portal. He's looking for his third school overall.
Yeah, there's a reason why these guys are transferring everywhere. Yeah. Where did he go before Oregon State?
Hold on. I just closed his profile.
I think he might have been just Oregon State, Paul.
No,
I might be wrong, though.
He was at another place.
Okay.
Because I looked this up earlier.
Sure.
I looked this up earlier. He was also at a JUCO,
okay,
too.
He was at JUCO,
but
all right.
No, there's where is he? Jeez. I lost him.
No big deal.
But
Paxton's going to rip you on this one.
Paxton is? I don't care.
No.
I don't just do this to entertain him.
Just clarifying what we were doing. So Bazelak. Again, these guys are journeymen now for a reason. But
journeyman's
fine
a good
player.
word.
Yeah.
Number 3, Zach Calzada will now be on his third school in 3 years as he is entered from Auburn. His moment in the sun came with a tremendous win over Alabama for A&M, but he was never going to be the starter again. Went to what looked like an open QB competition at Auburn and wound up being, he was injured this year, but everything that went on at Auburn this year, save for maybe the win over A&M, which he wasn't a part of because he was injured, was a just total S-storm until they hired Hugh Freeze. So, which that might not be in that too, but it.
How much would he have helped A&M this year?
Yeah, who knows? But he was thought to be. Here's the thing about Zach Calzada, which I will give him credit for. He was thought to be the weak link last year with A&M.
Yeah.
He was thought to be the weak link because they were really good on defense. They had a really good offensive line. They had skilled players all over the place. And he has a fantastic arm. If you were standing 10 yards away from it, he could throw it right through your chest. If he could hit you. That was the problem, is he would miss wide open receivers. And so it just wasn't in the cards for Zach Calzada. And so this is a guy I think he needs to drop down to the group of 5, but he has a big-time gun, by the way. Chance Nolan, Middle Tennessee State, Saddleback College, and Oregon State.
Okay, yeah. I trusted you on that. I didn't see what that earlier one. I couldn't find it on his game log, so that's what I was wondering about. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's certainly trended up, to Oregon State.
Yeah.
Chance Nolan did. But Zach Calzada, I do think can help a group of 5 team. He has a great arm, but maybe needs to not be in the SEC.
Yeah, at this point he's 0 for 2, and that looked like he was going to be the starter at Auburn, like you mentioned, and all of a sudden that became a very crowded quarterback room. All of a sudden it's like, TJ Finley's here, then Robbie, and that was not at all what was expected. But you're right. I think some guys probably would do themselves a service by going down a level or maybe maneuvering around to another part of the country, and it sure seems like after his first couple of efforts, that's probably a good idea to get a nice change of scenery in one form or fashion.
Yeah. Number 2. Kedon Slovis, he will be searching for his third team after USC and Pitt. And apparently, BYU is a little bit hot on his trail right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Jaron Hall's hurt. It was funny. They showed the BYU team getting off the plane for their bowl game preparations. And I guess originally the social media account posted a picture that had Jaron Hall in it, and he was very clearly booed on a scooter or whatever. And then that got taken down. But now I think I saw today a video, and there's the guys getting off the buses, and it takes a little while, but eventually you see him pedaling on along, on his scooter. So, yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to play. Sataki has said that earlier in the week, and their OC said that it looked like he was going to have a chance, but now they both kind of really calmed down. It sounds like he's not gonna play at all. But BYU needs a quarterback. I mean, did they not just lose or land a guy? I felt like last week. Didn't they lose a guy to Arizona State?
Yeah, they did.
To Kenny Dillingham.
With
Yes,
Dillingham, yeah.
Conover. They definitely need some quarterback help, and I'm not super high on him the way it's shaking out these first couple of appearances. I really thought that was going to be a bigger deal at Pitt, but then Pitt decided to we're not going to have fun offense anymore. Our fun offense went to Lincoln, Nebraska, and so we're going to have more of an old school approach, I suppose, which kind of defeated the purpose of getting a big name quarterback, really. But that's a guy who is going to be very curious to see what the appeal is for him in the portal.
And number 1, JT Daniels.
Has to be.
USC in 2018, then Georgia in 2021, and West Virginia in 2022, and to be determined in 2023, but his name is in the portal. And you heard Max mention him earlier. It's one of the reasons I asked about him. If there was really a market out there for him, or if everybody, at least with JT Daniels, kind of knows what he can do at this point. And this is not a guy that at this point you're looking at potential. He's tapped all his potential. So he can do what he can do, but you're not paying for a star here. And when I say paying, you're paying for a star, especially if you're JT Daniels, who wanted a house and a personal chef to go to Oregon State. So, and he got a house at West Virginia. I don't know if he got a chef.
I want a house and a personal chef, or I'm not doing tomorrow's show.
Well, I guess you're not doing tomorrow's show.
He definitely got the, I guess not. He definitely got the house. I'm not sure about the chef. Wouldn't surprise me if he did on that. But yeah, I don't know, started off looking like he was going to work out pretty well. And then by the end, I mean, they're, pivoting to Martial and, looking towards the future. And, I had a couple West Virginia fans mention that JT was hurt or, whatever the reason may be, and that they were pivoting and now they were focused on the now and the future. And really, Neil Brown has no choice. I mean, he can't really focus on long-term building moves because he will never be around to see them if he doesn't win right now, like next year. But yeah, JT Daniels, I mean, a lot of hype, a lot of talk about this guy. He's got some talent, obviously, but yeah, I mean, that's the way of the world right now. So very curious where he ends up.
One of his best games was against Baylor on the 43-40 win, threw for 283 and a touchdown. He threw 3 picks and a loss to Tech. They got blown out, I think, the next week, if I'm correct. No, the week before. Yeah, the next week. Yeah, he just never had. His only big game was the loss to Kansas, and that game went into overtime. He threw for 365. Just didn't put up a bunch of numbers.
Yeah, so that's it. There you go.
I would have gotten that one right. Paxton, I hope you got at least JT Daniels